When someone is going through a difficult time, others' reactions can be surprise harsh, focusing on finding fault, often beyond what is reasonable or justified, rather than trying to understand. They might, for example, chastise someone with health problems for not taking care of themselves, assume someone's financial difficulties are the result of irresponsibility, or wonder if a bullying victim did something to provoke the treatment. Several classic social psychology ideas give light on why this would be the case. 1. We undervalue the impact of external circumstances. We tend to think that people's behavior reflects their enduring personality traits, according to research on the basic attribution error, without always assigning enough weight to the impact of external factors, such as the specific scenario they are in at the time. We may mistakenly conclude that a grouchy store worker is simply hostile, while in fact he has just dealt with a wave of angry clients and is concerned about a sick child at home. We've caught him on a poor day, but we don't realize it since we're judging him based on the minimal information we have. 2. We rely on stereotypes that are unfavorable. When you look at someone's actions through the lens of a negative stereotype, you're more likely to make harsh judgments. Participants in one study saw a video of a 4th grade girl taking an academic test, during which she failed in some areas but succeeded in others. Even though they were all seeing the same film, participants who were told she came from a lower income household evaluated her as having inferior academic ability, below grade level, than participants who thought she hailed from a higher income one. Negative stereotypes regarding low socioeconomic position, the researchers reasoned, may have prompted participants to selectively recall and assess information from the movie, emphasizing the negative and discounting the positive. 3. We justify our mistreatment of others. We should be especially wary of our motives when judging someone we've wronged in any way. This is because we don't just treat people the way we want them to be treated because of how we feel about them. According to research on cognitive dissonance, we despise it when our actions contradict our beliefs, but rather than correcting the conflict by changing our behavior, for example, by being kinder, we often resort to mental acrobatics to justify it. If we damage someone, convincing ourselves that they deserved it may help us feel more ethically consistent. 4. We want the world to be a more just place. Even if we aren't to blame for someone else's tragedy, we may find ourselves justifying it. When we observe individuals suffering in ways they obviously do not deserve, it might put our desire to think that good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people, which psychologists refer to as belief in a just world, in jeopardy. When people hold this viewpoint strongly, it can lead them to see victims in a negative and blameworthy light, such as focusing on how an assault victim dressed or a sick person's less than ideal lifestyle. If a victim is considered as at least partially to blame, the world remains just, and we, as individuals, feel less vulnerable. The cognitive processes discussed here occur mostly outside of conscious awareness, but simply being aware that they may be occurring within us can assist us in recognizing and counteracting them. This requires humility, because we prefer to think of ourselves as reasonable, non-judgmental people. However, we're more likely to be that way if we acknowledge our proneness to error and have an open mind. Otherwise, we risk exacerbating the misery of others.